John Peel.
I'm sure there is going to be more than one unpleasant surprise before we're done.
Radio 1.
Now, have you ever wondered why Death Cab for Cutie were called Death Cab for Cutie? Because of this.
That night, Cutie called a cab.
Baby, don't do it.
She left her east side drum so drab.
Baby, don't do it.
She went out on the town. No, they will make her love frown.
Death cab for Cutie. Death cab for Cutie.
Someone's gonna make you pay your fare. The cab was racing through the night.
Baby, don't do it.
His eyes in the mirror keeping Cutie in sight.
Baby, don't do it.
When he saw Cutie, it gave him a thrill. Don't you know, baby, curves can kill.
Death cab for Cutie. Death cab for Cutie.
Someone's gonna make you pay your fare. Cutie, don't you play with fate. Don't leave your lover alone. If you go out of the state, his heart will turn to stone. Bad girl, Cutie, what have you done?
Baby, don't do it.
Slipping, sliding down a highway 31.
Baby, don't do it.
The traffic lights changed from green to red. They tried to stop, but they both wound up dead.
Death cab for Cutie. Death cab for Cutie.
Someone's gonna make you pay your fare. Someone's gonna make you pay your fare.
Someone's gonna make
You pay your fare. Someone's gonna make you pay your fare.
And I think I should let the next track play as well, because it's well worth hearing. Come on. Bonzo Dog Doodah Band.
How do you think it's going?
So-so.
A lot of it's rubbish, you know. Hey, you have the same trouble with your trousers as I do.
Yes.
Bonzo Dog Doodah Band from 1967, from the LP Gorilla, and Death Cab for Cutie, the track from which the band took their name, obviously. The 8-Bit Construction said, don't forget tonight's session comes from Chukki, Starr and the Ruff, Cutt Band. Emails to john.peel@bbc.co.uk, and this is Dollar's Slow Ass UK Mix. That's a track by the 8-Bit Construction Company, set rather, and that's beginning the next one, which I'll play you later on, but not tonight. It's on Sounds Like Records. The EP is called Other Mistakes, and that was Dollar's Slow House UK mix. And also featured on here is, Cy Begg, our chum from Groningen and other places, Matthew Herbert, and My Robot Friend, and most of those tracks will crop up in future programmes. Right now, though, this is Clinic, and they're going to be playing live in our Maida Vale studios tomorrow week. Is that right? Okay. This is Clinic, and from the LP Walking With Thee, Pet Eunuch, spelt incorrectly. Hey. Oh, goodness me. I just tried this in the... I was going to play the session track in the machine that doesn't work, which would have been embarrassing in the extreme. Right, I'm going to put it in the one that does work. Excellent. Right, that was Clinic on Domino Records from the LP Working With Thee, and Pet Eunuch was the title of it. And the first tune from Chukki Starr is in session tonight with the Ruff Cutt Band, Blessings Gonna Flow.
Let me tell you right, man. Well, again, blessing I go flow my way, and it's gonna take away those pains that me and my nation has to face, and release the slavery chains. Blessings gonna flow my way, and it's gonna take away those pains. Mentally they on a higher stage, so me must bonfire and flames. Well, man a upliftment when me get to the youths them. Cause Lucifer him a try recruit them. With them your knowledge and me a try to reach them. Love for yourself you know see ya that man a teach them. Cause with the blessing ya we can't go wrong. Long time with the ya and we a survive so long. But you know see ya we strong. Cause me feel the energy plus the vibration. So blessing a go flow my way. And it's gonna take away those pains that me and my nation has to face, and release the slavery chains. Blessings gonna flow my way, and it's gonna take away those pains. Mentally they on a higher stage, so we must bonfire and flames. Well, it's been a very long time, but I know it a go show. The truth it a reveal unto the youths where you grow. Them a learn of things where them never used to know. That's how the blessing a go flow. Wisdom and knowledge it a go let we go. Overstanding it a go make we overthrow. Black man we have to fast and we can't be slow. Cause a long time them got we at the back of the road. So I say blessing a go flow my way, and it's gonna take away those pains that me and my a higher stage. And we must burn fire and flames. Well, me tell them the crystal city, it a Kadesh. I mean, know what this are where me forefathers them rest. Man, I it where you the true house for righteousness. And I this are where you a go find true happiness. Melchizedek him have the keys fi say yes. And if him a say yes, then you know say you bless. Yo, and that's why man have to try do way best. For spiritual upliftment, for progress. So blessing I go flow my way. And it's gonna take away those pains that me and my nation has to face. And release the slavery chains. Blessing gonna flow my way. And it's gonna take away those pains. Mentally they on a higher stage. And they must burn fire and flames. Like a blessing I go flow my way. And it's gonna take away those pains that me and my nation has to face. And release the slavery chains. Blessing gonna flow my way. And it's gonna take away those pains. Mentally they on a higher stage. And we must burn fire and flames. Mentally they on a higher stage. And we must burn fire and flames. Yo, mentally they on a higher stage.
And lashings of information about our guest tonight later on in the programme. Chukki, Starr and the Ruff Cutt Band, and that's Blessings Gonna Flow. And these are going to be the fatal flying guillotines. This is another track from that Estrus compilation, Double Dynamite Sampler Volume 3. Call the Draw. Such boisterous boys. Fatal Flying Guillotines on Estrus Records. Call the Draw.
As the autumn weather turns leaf to flame, I haven't got time for the waiting game. And it's a long, long while from May to December, and the days grow short when you reach September. But the days dwindle down precious few. And these few precious days I would spend with you. These golden days I'd spend with you. And I have lost one too, and I walk a little lane, and I haven't got time for the waiting game. But it's a long, long while from May to December, and the days grow short when you reach September, and the days tend to go as they grow few. September, and these few golden days I'd spend with you. These golden days I'd spend with you. And the days tend to go as they grow few. September, November, and these few golden days I'd spend with you. These golden days I'd like to spend with you. Quite.
That's Robert Wyatt, and a track from an LP, actually not by Robert at all, but by Pascal Commelard, and that's on Les Disques du Soleil et des Laciers records, rather cumbersome name for a record company, I'd have thought, and the LP or EP, whichever it is also called September Song. And I was dealing here, or trying to deal with an email from Simon Wood from Leeds. He says, I had to email us what a fantastic experience your set was at Fabric on Friday night. And it was, actually, I have to say that. I mean, it was amazing for me, because I was extraordinarily nervous about going down there and doing it, because I don't really do that sort of thing. And he goes on to say, your roadshow was exactly what I needed. Hearing your name being chanted in time to some wide techno was the most extraordinary experience, as indeed it was for me too. It was sort of almost embarrassing, really. It was it's like a Cliff Richard film, wasn't it? It was extraordinary. It was really remarkable. And also, I finished, not surprisingly, with Teenage Kicks, and the people in there carried on singing Teenage Kicks about 5 minutes after the record had ended too. Simon says, what was that particularly brutal drum and bass track that you played? I'd be really grateful if you could tell me. I suspect it was probably Demolition by Bug 9 from the Enforcers compilation on Reinforced Records, because that is a particularly fine track, and I will play it again. And he says, can you say hi to my pals Lee, Steve, Ivan and Dave, who also made it a night to remember. Is there a recording of your set at all? Well, I can't even remember what I played, to be perfectly honest. I mean, it's certainly not the sequence of it, and there isn't a recording of it. So I can't help you there, alas. These things probably better not recorded anyway, just the kind of the moment. Live for the moment, that's what I always say. Well, I don't always say that at all. Where are we now? This is McCluskey on 2 Pure Records from the LP McCluskey Do Dallas. Why is it called that? McCluskey from the LP on 2 Pure Records called McCluskey Do Dallas. That was no new wave, no fun. And this is Technical Fear.
Pure is the mind killer. Pure is the mind killer. Pure is the mind killer. Pure is the mind killer.
is the mind killer. Fear is the mind killer. It's not fear. It's not fear. It's not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the mind killer.
The Wugga Wugga sound of Technical Hits. This is a 12-inch on Penetration Records. It's called The Fear. Not much more I can tell you about it, really. An email here from Bluebird, and it says, you appeared as a DJ in a film that we saw 2 days ago on BBC Knowledge. It was called 5 Seconds. Can you tell us who were the Dwarves of Death, and can you still get it? I don't think you could ever get it, actually, Bluebird. I think it was just made up for the film. And I wasn't exactly a DJ. I was... they cast me as a grumpy old bloke who spends his entire life filing records. Where they got a novel idea like that from, I can't begin to imagine. And the film, I don't think, was ever shown in cinemas, alas, which was a great disappointment to me, because I was looking forward to a whole new career in film, but it seemed to have ended and started in that one film, alas. Anything else I can tell you about it? I don't think so. Right, now, I played you a record, or the Pig played you a record a couple of times, actually, called On a Steamer Coming Over by the Three Jinks, and it was I was going to say a hit, that would have been wrong, really, but we've got a couple of emails on the subject, and the Pig, with the help of our friend Ian the Tank Engine, has come up with one or two more records, in fact, about 5 more records by the Three Jinks, and one of them, I think, is tonight's Pig's Big 78.
Take Me Back to My Boots and Saddle by the Three Jinks with hillbilly accompaniment.
Take me back to my boots and saddle. Let me see that general store. Let me ride that range once more. Give me my boots and saddle. Let me ramble along the prairie. Roping steers on old Bar X with my buddies Slim and Tex. Give me my boots and saddle. Got a hankering to be with the banjo on my knee, strumming a pretty western tune. There's a gal in Cherokee and she's waiting there for me, waiting beneath the Texas moon. So take me back to my boots and saddle. Let me greet each blazing morn on the ranch where I was born. Give me my boots and saddle. So take me back to my boots and saddle. Let me greet each blazing morn on the ranch where I was born. Give me my boots and saddle.
Next time I'm strolling past the nostalgia section of one of our big stores, record stores, I shall see if there are any compilations by the Three Jinks. There certainly should be. That was Take Me Back to My Boots and Saddle, and I'm not entirely sure that the Pig hasn't picked another one from their oeuvre for tomorrow night's programme. And our thanks again to Ian the Tank Engine for, getting those records, actually, is what he did. Right, where are we now? These are the Parkinsons. Lamo played a track. He said I'd play another one. He was right.
Just a
Short to the point of being brusque. That's from the Parkinsons, from an EP on Fierce Panda Records, A Long Way to Nowhere, and the track was called Angel in the Dark. Information for you now about tonight's session guest, Chukki Starr. Inspired by Billy Boyo, I'll start again. Inspired by Billy Boyo and Little Harry, Chukki Starr served his dancehall apprenticeship on the Harsden sound system Echo Tone before recording his debut single Try Me for reggae veteran Junior English in 1992. By the time his debut album, Ghetto Youth's Livety, arrived on Mad Professor's Ariba record label in 1997, he was already touring Europe on a regular basis. The second album, Forever Shall Praise, recorded for the French market, showcased tracks blending a little hip-hop and R&B into the otherwise hardcore reggae mix. This pattern, I'm reading this better than usual actually, this pattern has been repeated on the new album From Crime to Kodesh, whose influences are as varied as ragga, roots, dancehall and hip-hop. It's produced in collaboration with Jazzwad, who supplied the rhythms, and Dr. Marshall, and recorded at Anchor Studios in Jamaica. The album also features collaboration with such luminaries as Junior Kelly and Jar Mason. Keen, however, to further broaden his musical horizons, Chukki is currently working on 2 tracks with hip-hop star D'Influence. So there you go. From Chukki Starr and the band, this is Peace and Love. No, Love and Peace.
Yeah. I shoot and box yo. And that man a defend to the max, yeah. Defend to the max, yeah. Come and see, chop.
Love and peace is what we need.
Because you want peace. I'm begging you, please, yeah, you me.
Love and peace is what we need.
You talk to me, enemy, and colleagues, yeah, you me.
Love and peace is what we need.
Because you want peace. I'm begging you, please, yeah, you me.
Love and peace is what we need.
You talk to me, enemy, and colleagues. Well, your time me bend, all the while me grieve. When me look and hear, when me get all youths believe. If you kill your one another, what will you achieve? You hungry, you go reap and you sow the seed. Well, enough caught up in this want and greed. And envious, we make them kill a man said spade. When as a nation, we should have gone a lead. But some are we no good and think bad indeed. And some not love to see another man proceed. Me know them coming from a disagreeable breed. That's why man have to make up this a song and plead. Man have to unify for everyone's in need. So I say
love and peace is what we need.
Because it was peace. I'm begging you please, hear me.
Love and peace is what we need.
You talk to me, enemy, and colleagues. Well, get our people a full time if we know this. Hunger if we blame and not that me notice. Every youth I say them a study in a badness. And I say them got them machine a brandish. But we have to try overcome and fight this. Cause we are going with the more side like this. I say low the hypeness. It's our weakness. To every little youth out the road we have preach this.
Love and peace is what we need.
Because it was peace. I'm begging you please, hear me.
Love and peace is what we need.
You talk to me, enemy, and colleagues, hear me.
Love and peace is what we need.
Because it was peace. I'm begging you please, hear me.
Love and peace is what we need.
You talk to me, enemy, and colleagues, yo. Na 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 na. Let me see, yo. The younger generation don't me love them so much. That's why we have to try and educate them enough. And me not stop tell me you them fi rise up. Your mind have to free for your eyes open up. Me can't take the war in the town me grow up. And me community and every man fi live up. Enough man not know when fi turn and give up. I beg the little youth them fi wake up. So
love and peace is what we need.
Because it was peace. I'm begging you please hear me.
Love and peace is what we need.
You talk to me enemy and colleagues hear me.
Love and peace is what we need.
Because it was peace. I'm begging you please hear me.
Love and peace is what we need.
You talk to me enemy and colleagues me tell them
love and peace is what we need.
Because it was peace. I'm begging you please hear me.
Love and peace is what we need.
You talk to me enemy and colleagues hear me.
Love and peace is what we need.
Na 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 na.
Love and peace is what we need.
Chukki Starr in session, and that's called Love and Peace. Tomorrow night, what have we got for you tomorrow night? Well, it's, hold on a second, Mos Eisley, their debut on the programme, and then on Thursday night, Pinhole in session. And this next one is for Reese, who rules our office. Well, you know, he's a hard man, and it keeps us working very hard indeed, and I think he'll appreciate this track. It's from Cursive, from a new LP on Saddle Creek. The LP is called Domestica. This is A Red So Deep.
Falling down the staircase, and I, for one, have felt its breezes. Equilibrium inebriated, our social graces have been displaced. As we sink deeper into the dream, the volume increases. Nighttime resurrects, spotlight, silent wars. Rebel somewhere below. The surface is versus. The surface is versus. The show is dropped. Lungs explode. Shards of words of a shattered voice. And there's still a hole where the fun was strong. Rising a revolution. I close my eyes and the room is spinning. You're screaming, sweetie, the moon has raped me. It's left its seeds like a tomb inside me. So I must learn to abort these feelings. This romance is bleeding. Nighttime triggers the landmines, bedroom wounds. Lovers like bring ideas. Marching two by two. Marching two by two. Soldiers down, floodgates burst. And I said things I wish you never heard. Like there's still a hope where the phone was thrown. It's growing as we speak, and it's sucking us both in a vacuum of sorrow to swallow up the day.
From Omaha, Nebraska, if memory serves, certainly Saddle Creek Records is based in Omaha. That's Cursive. The LP is called Domestica, and A Red So Deep was the title of the track. And an email here from Chris Dunn. It says, "Hi, I'm wondering if you could please help me find a song you played on the programme a few years back. I think it's called John Tom by Lee Perry. I can't seem to find it. Hope you can help. Thanks." And then I'm supposed to... No, I should have got somebody else to read that, really, shouldn't I? It's a different voice. You need a different voice. It's not that we're lazy, but we do get lots of emails like...
Stop it.
Well, that's how I'm supposed to do it. It's not that we're... Oh, I'm supposed to ad-lib around it, am I? Not just... Oh, OK, fair enough. Well, it's not that we're lazy, but we do get lots of lots of emails like this, and it's always not always possible. Should put a not in there. This is making it difficult for me, leaving words out. Always possible to leave them out on the air, read them out on the air, rather, so why not try the spectacularly useful John Peel message board? I didn't... How long's that been going? I had no idea there was such a thing.
Since the website's done.
Sorry?
Since the website's done it.
Oh, really? Okay. To post a message on this John Peel message board, go to www.bbc.co.uk/Radio 1 and click on the alternative section, then click on the message board. That makes a deal of sense. And perhaps you can get the answers. Obviously, we do genuinely try to keep abreast of all of the emails and to answer the questions that come in. But as always, there's just slightly too many. It's not as though there were so many that it was impossible to deal with them at all and you just give up and go to the pub, although that's an attractive option, I have to say. But just really too many to keep abreast of, as it is with the records, and I listen to an insane amount of records. People who live in, who know us think I'm nuts, because I spend the whole time in my room listening to records, which obviously is rather a nice thing to spend your time doing. But it's impossible to hear them all, it really is. But most of them do get heard, and most of the emails get answered as well, but there is that message board. Is that enough? Have I said enough about that now? I think I very likely have. This is Stefan Mathieu, and I played a track from this a couple of weeks ago, and he actually emailed us and thanked me for playing it, which I thought was very decent of him. It's an LP called Frequency Lib. This track is The Stomach Room. The LP, I noticed, he dedicated to his dad. I approved of that. Starts very quietly.
Of hugs and a million good words. We are satisfied from Monday to Friday, and on Sunday we cry, but we like it from that point of view. So we stay here and there until dawn every day, and we stay here and there every day. We never ever lied. From 10 in the morning, we are honest till 9. We are over cute. We never will
Stephen Mathieu on Meal... No, not at all. What am I saying? First of the two tracks was by Stephen Mathieu on Meal Plateau Records from the LP Frequency Lib, The Stomach Room. And then, keeping it German, it was the No Twist, and from the LP Neon Golden on City Slang Records, Solitaire. Now, this next one, it does say on the record, the gauntlet has been thrown down a bit, it does say that this is to be played at 33 1/3. And if you played at 33 1/3, it does sound quite mad to me, I think. But anyway, I'll do that for a bit and then I'll take it off and play it at 45, which I reckon is the speed it should be at. See, this is an example of democracy in action, because I think that sounds wrong at 33 1/3. But Louise and Dave, who work on the programme with me, said that they thought it was just fine. And so, the majority view holds. And so it's played at 33 1/3. On Static Caravan Records, though, that was Ward, no question about that. And the track is called Sesquipedalian Origins. Sesquipedalian apparently means 1.5 foot long, i.e. very long, and it's used for kind of very long words, really, portmanteau words, I think. If that's wrong, yeah, I suppose you can email me and tell me so. I shan't be grateful for the information because I don't like being wrong, but this is Therma B and Ant. You'd have thought I'd got used to it by now. This is a 12-inch on Bang On Records, Thermobee and Ant. That's called, not unreasonably, Sonic. Therma B and Ant, as I say, and tonight's session star guest is Chukki Starr, and this is Sweet Meditation.
Some sweet, sweet meditation. Man up a secret information. I read religion to determination. We rise up me new billion population. I'ma tell them about some sweet, sweet meditation. And up a secret information. And I forget me you them out of this condition. Yo, and the whole of with them on one mission. I tell them say, what if you check my song and if you make a plan, if you go the right direction? Well, enough of them mind are strong. True that enough of them will fall and go wrong. Well, all the while them caught up in a friction, but them can't see it because of drugs addiction. Well, I say knowledge are the right solution. It alone will take you out of this confusion. So me tell them sweet, sweet meditation. Man have the secret information. I read the vigilance with determination. We rise up me new billion population. I'ma tell them about some sweet, sweet meditation. Boy, man have the secret information. I'm not forget me them out of this condition. Yo, cause the whole of with them on one mission. I tell them say, once a man and I say twice a child. But anything good we happen just for a while. My mama taught me not to spoil, and definitely grow me as a disciplined child. Yo, so me stop myself from running wild. I me try to walk out this gunman profile. Same thing me have to teach me little son Mikhail, and make him grow up with a righteous lifestyle. Yes, one of the happiest day when me never top smile. When me walk on the African style, and that's something me that really dream about from me a young juvenile. That feeling it was so divine. I tell them about some sweet, sweet meditation. Man have the secret information. I read the vigilance with determination. We rise up me new billion population. I'ma tell them about some sweet, sweet meditation. Boy, and secret information. I'm not forget me them out of this condition. Yo, and the whole of with them on one mission. Well, me get me confidence from my experience. All my tribulation when me that face make sense. Cause it bring out all me intelligence and make me well want to improve me talents. That's why me say me seek for knowledge and get to know art cleanse. And please no bother follow friends. If I that you wa go do the whole of who no wa go eat the problems. Me I talk to the youth on me ends and tell them about some sweet, sweet meditation. Man have the secret information. I read the vigilance with determination. We rise up me new billion population. Me tell them about some sweet, sweet meditation. Oh, and secret information. I'm not forget me you them out of this condition. Yo, and the whole of with them on one mission. I tell them about some sweet, sweet meditation. Boy, man have the secret information. I read the vigilance with determination. We rise up me new billion population. Me tell them about some sweet, sweet meditation. Boy, and secret information. I'm not forget me you them out of this condition.
First class stuff, Chukki Starr and Sweet Meditation. And an email here from John O'Keen, and it says, hope you're carrying on with the Perfume Garden feature. It'd be cool to hear the Pretty Things or the Pink Fairies. Well, of course, what I'm doing is adhering strictly, rigidly, you might even say, to the list of records that was played on the final night of the Perfume Garden on Radio London in the summer of 1967. And there may or may not be tunes by the Pretty Things or the Pink Fairies in there. Probably not the Pink Fairies, because I'm not sure that they'd recorded at that stage, but we'll find out as we make our way through the list. Tonight, though, it's neither of these people, it's Tim Buckley.
With your beautiful hair you're 16 years. You kissed me as I lay still. If I can see you never, then I'll sleep forever. All my lonely love to with your beautiful hair and your 60 years. You kissed me as I lay still. If I can see you never, I'll sleep forever. All my lonely love to
Tim Buckley, tonight's Perfume Garden choice, and Song Slowly Sung is the title of that, and it's I played it to you. I try to use the original records wherever I can, but I couldn't find my original copy of that, but it's reissued fairly recently on a 2 CD set called Morning Glory. Why I bother with the original records, I don't know, because it's just got the kind of twerp I am, I think. A spurious kind of authenticity is guaranteed. Right, there was a very good piece, actually, I was going to say, because there are quiet bits in that, and I was frightened that the emergency tape was going to come in, and you get a burst of something like hearsay over the top of Tim Buckley, which wouldn't have been nice at all. Having said that, there's a very good thing in The Guardian today about somebody had gone and bought, reduced to £9.99, a kind of a model of the one who left, Kim something. Kim what? You don't know? Okay, all right. Well, I don't know. I thought you were interested in pop music. Kim, out of hearsay, though, reduced to £9.99, because it is one of these days, it is going to be a collector's item. And the pig was going shopping this afternoon in Ipswich, and she popped into Woolworths and bought the last one that they have. And I think it's going to be one of those things. I would recommend, listeners, that you go out, and I shouldn't be, but they have them in Woolworths, that much I do know, and getting yourself a Kim for £9.99, dramatically reduced to clear, and if you live for another 50 years, which I certainly won't, it could be worth as much as 10, 12, £15 or something like that, but well worth having anyway. A talking point, there'll be no question about that. This is Herman Doon and a track from the LP Switzerland Heritage on Prohibited Records with a tank full of gas.
The morning comes with a tank full of gas, and with the radio on, beautiful music, Velvet Underground, such a nice drive with the Velvet Underground. Such a nice drive. We're looking at the countryside. With the golden sky above, fighting with the farmer's wife. My hands full of mud and blood. I think she deserves it for the harm she did to my brothers, the pigs, and my sisters, the cows. What a hard fight with the farmer's wife. What a hard fight, but the bitch, she deserves it. And after all this, when you look at me, baby, will you see me as a vegetarian hero? Will you remember my name? Will you say my name? Will you spell my name with your high school friends, sitting on the staircase over there, sitting on the staircase, smoking weed on the staircase.
That's Herman Doon on Prohibited Records with a tank full of gas, and it's from the LP Switzerland Heritage. And we're now starting to get emails about Kim out of hearsay, is this right? I mean, I've been watching that stuff on television. I'm sure you have too. That thing about, with all those people wanting to be auditioned to be the next Kim, as it were. And just extraordinary. I'd love to have the kind of confidence that they have to walk into a room full of essentially hostile people and just sing unaccompanied in front of them. I couldn't do that in a million years. I really couldn't. And that bloke who stood on the bridge, he was interviewed in his own right. I hope he makes records. I hope he becomes a huge star because that kind of confidence deserves something. I'm not quite sure what. Some people would argue it deserves a good hiding, but he just stood on the bridge and shouted, not entirely tunefully, I felt, some song that I couldn't identify. That was probably a hearsay song, but you just think how amazing to be able to do that sort of thing. Very, very strange business indeed. Right, this is Miss Black America. Voice Black America on Integrity Records and Infinity Chinese Box should be getting regular plays on Radio 1 in my view, but almost certainly isn't. A great pity too. And an email here from Screen out of the Cuban Boys saying, reference the Hearsay Doll for £9.99. They can have him, the real him. That's a real Screen B. And how can you possibly resist an offer like that? Very easily, I feel. And an email here from one of the NAB Woodleys, and it says, right, I don't really understand it. I understand very little of it. It says, can you advise on the wisdom of a 60p local library CD hire charge for Steel Guitar Masters 1928 to 34 on vintage Hawaiian music records? Well, I would have thought that was worth listening to under any circumstances, to be perfectly honest, and I certainly, for 60p, seems like, I mean, obviously I know that's just the hire of it, but at the same time, the 60p well spent, I'd have thought, NAB. And it says, is it possible to request any more tunes from the Dynamo record? What does it mean by that? Do we have any idea at all? And then it says, a dedication of this or any other record to Krusty would be great. After 2 years in Kenya, he's back living opposite the cathedral and planning his return to Africa. What all this is about, I really don't know. I haven't got my Kenyan records yet, that much I do know. Whether this is Krusty's fault or somebody else's, I honestly can't tell you. But they will come to me eventually, and I've now been told that when the NABs come to pick up the records that people won in a competition on this programme a few weeks ago, they will bring the Kenyan records with them, but that's not likely to be until around the end of this month. So if you're one of the lucky winners of several hundred 12-inch singles, you're going to have to wait until really sort of March, is it? Yeah, March before they're delivered, because quite clearly I haven't got time to deliver them. I haven't got time to go to the loo and wash my face and do things like that. So travelling around the country delivering records, out of the question, but the NABs are going to undertake that. And now this next track is from an LP called Yodeling the Classics Volume 2, and that, of course, is exactly the kind of LP title that attracts this programme in a big way.
Galala, 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 galala.
Even though I may rue it, I have put the yodel to it. So without hesitation, I will throw in one or two. Lay-o, 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 lay-o. We will dance the mazurka, yodel, rondo a la turca. If you please, Mr. Motoc, with apologies to you.
It's your turn. Avoid the word you. It is accused.
Well, Mary-Anne Hobbs just came in to tell me about her programme. It didn't seem to be making a great deal of sense, but I'm sure it'll be a wonderful programme. And, of course, it starts after the news at midnight. That was Mark Hawkins. And a track from an EP on Ugly Funk Records called Diabolical Liberties. And the kind of labelling on it's a bit confusing, so that could have been crowd control. Then again, it could have been ball lightning. Who knows? Well, obviously somebody does, but it's not me. Before that is Mary Schneider on Koch Records from an LP called Yodeling the Classics Volume 2. I'm not sure how I missed out on Volume 1, but that was Yodeling Mozart. And I'm not quite sure. I can't make up my mind about that, whether it's good or not. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those things that, I don't know. Anyway, I will play you more tracks from it. And this is from the 80s Matchbox Beeline disaster. Now, there's a catchy name.
You
Well, there you go. The 80s Matchbox Beeline disaster on Radio Records, and that was called Morning Has Broken, although quite why it's called that, I couldn't understand. And Marianne is also on our televisions at the moment, BBC Choice, a programme about motorcycling and things, and it looks really good. And I don't know, whereabouts are you? You can't really signal, can you? India, okay, fair enough. And but attracting a great deal of attention, plunging cleavage, and lots of school children on buses getting wildly overexcited and so forth. And who can blame them? And she'll be along, as I say, 2 minutes past midnight with Defenestration. That's the band rather than the activity. Although the way things are building up this evening, who can say? This is Chukki, Starr and band, and a couple of tunes really. So Much Trouble and Forever Shall Praise.
Yeah, you know. Well, this is all about giving thanks and praises. And we have to bless up Bob Marley because it's all about reggae music. You know what I say? Check. What I say?
So much trouble in the world.
And that Bob Marley say.
So much trouble in the world.
I tell the boys and the girls say.
So much trouble in the world.
You know what that Bob say?
So much trouble in the world.
When me sing, yo, long time you tell them righteousness, and you never hear me yet say me I got change me flex. And me people get to know me must is surely blessed. And that's something when me notice when me must confess that anywhere me go, not south, east or west, the people them we tell me said them rate me the best. And them notice that this Starr not on no foolishness. And for hear me get to people them not stop request. And me tell them say
so much trouble in the world.
And that Bob Marley say
so much trouble in the world.
I tell the boys and the girls say
so much trouble in the world.
And that Baba say
so much trouble in the world.
Continue me song when me say me song not even half start yet. And me want you listen to this statement me have to make. Malakaya him we really make me stop and check. Who I get the inspirations from Melchizedek. So me know what just right knowledge where me get. With truths and facts and everything's correct. Me have to discipline myself no matter how much me sweat. And try to walk in at the righteous footsteps. And me tell them say
so much trouble in the world.
And I'm that Bob Marley say
so much trouble in the world.
I tell the boys and the girls say
so much trouble in the world.
And we are trying to find peace and love, you know?
So much trouble in the world.
Let me tell them say, yo, well again, no longer will I live or fret. Can me get for overstand and know what to expect. Can them tell me about the plans when Lucifer has set. Prepare me for the destruction when I come yet. The mark of the beast, well enough of them going for tech. And enough of them here, but never did want to check. Yo, some man have to left corruptiveness. And me younger destination is to reach a Kadesh. And me tell them say
so much trouble in the world.
And that's what Bob Marley say.
So much trouble in the world.
Now beg the little you them not stray.
So much trouble in the world.
I tell this to the boys and the girls.
So much trouble in the world.
Let me tell them say, when you me sing the I, forever shall praise the Most High. And never will I be alone, for He shall guide me home. The heathen them a go down say hear me I, forever shall praise the Most High. And never will I be alone, and Satan he must go down. Be sure, never will I be alone, and Satan he must go down. I know, never will I be alone, and Lucifer must go down. Be sure, never will I be alone, and Iblis he must go down. I know, never will I be alone, the evil they must go down. Hey.
That's a 12-inch on Formation Records, A Decade of Breaks, part 3 of 4. And what became of parts 1, 2 and 4, I'm not quite sure, but I do have part 3. That was Technique, Tekniq, that kind of technique. And Hard Lines was the title of it. Before that, Chukki Starr, and who was in session tonight, and So Much Trouble, and Forever She'll Praise. And Terry Edwards sent me a whole bunch of records the other day, because all of the Higson stuff has been released. And obviously last weekend was a pretty exciting weekend in our house, football-wise, because both Ipswich and Liverpool did very well. They meet next weekend, of course, and there's going to be a terrible stillness over our house, and I'm not quite sure what I'm hoping will happen, but we can't obviously both emerge satisfied from the weekend. But what was I going to say? Oh yes, let's turn our attention to Norwich briefly, because Terry Edwards used to be in the Higsons, and the Higsons records, Higsons probably the best band that Norwich ever produced. Somebody will dispute that, but certainly my favourite. And from their LP, The Curse of the Higsons, this is a tune called The Junk Keeps Piling Up. Higsons reissued, and now on Sartorial Records. That's from the LP The Curse of the Higsons. The junk keeps piling up, and because of my extraordinary economy of style, I got time to put an extra record in. It's one that I was listening to as I was getting ready to come into town this afternoon. From the Mountain Goats, this is the best ever death metal band in Denton.
Death metal band out of Denton with a couple of guys who'd been friends since grade school. One was named Cyrus, the other was Jeff, and they practiced twice a week in Jeff's bedroom. The best ever death metal band out of Denton. Never settled on a name, but the top three contenders, after weeks of debate, were Satan's Fingers, and the Killers, and the Hospital Bombers. Jeff and Cyrus believed in their hearts they were headed for stage lights and Learjets and fortune and fame. So in script that made prominent use of a pentagram, they stenciled their drum heads and guitars with their names. And this was how Cyrus got sent to the school where they told him he'd never be famous. And this was why Jeff, in the letters he'd write to his friend, helped develop a plan to get even. When you punish a person for dreaming his dream, don't expect him to thank or forgive you. The best ever death metal band out of Denton will in time both outpace and outlive you. Hail Satan! Hail Satan! Tonight, hail Satan! Hail, hail!
That was Ming the Merciless by Boulder, originally released in 1994, but recently resurfaced on an LP called Ripping Christ. And before that, it was the Mountain Goats and the best ever death metal band in Denton. Rather an affecting piece, I felt. And this from the Czech Republic on Relapse Records, from an LP called Czech Assault, a band with a catchy name, Negligent Collateral Collapse, and a tribute to Ipswich Town, and one for the pig, really. This is Blue and White.
Radio 1.
No, hold on a second. This is Blue and White. All I can say is that I agree with every word of that. Negligent Collateral Collapse on Relapse Records, and that's called Blue and White. Tomorrow it's Mos Eisley in session. Thanks very much for listening. Happy birthday, Tom.